A Silicon Valley billionaire takes the stand against the company he helped create. Google writes the largest AI check in history, and the model race hits warp speed with back-to-back frontier launches in a single week. Today on the Daily Alpha, the Musk versus Altman trial is live in Oakland with $130 billion on the line. Google bets $40 billion on Anthropic. GPT 5.5 drops just 6 weeks after 5.4. DeepSeek V4 arrives from China, open source and formidable, and Anthropic's most powerful model gets a White House audience. April 29th. Let's get into it. The most consequential AI trial in history is now underway, and day one already delivered fireworks. Elon Musk took the stand himself in a federal courtroom in Oakland, testifying he came up with the idea, the name, and provided the early funding. His legal team framed it bluntly: the defendant stole a charity. OpenAI's counsel fired back that Musk is simply suing because he didn't get his way. At stake, Altman's removal from the board, Brockman's removal as an officer, and $130 billion in damages returned to OpenAI's nonprofit foundation. Here's the investor read. A Musk victory could legally force OpenAI to revert to nonprofit status, unwinding the governance structure behind its $852 billion valuation and threatening Microsoft's deep product integration. With Satya Nadella and early OpenAI researchers on the witness list, the testimony ahead could move markets. Watch the daily updates closely. This trial runs for weeks. Google just wrote the largest AI check in history, and the number is staggering. $40 billion to Anthropic. $10 billion hits immediately at a $350 billion valuation. The remaining $30 billion follows on performance milestones. For context, Google's first Anthropic investment in 2023 was $300 million for a 14% stake. Amazon separately committed $1 billion, with $20 billion more optioned. The market is already pricing Anthropic at $800 billion or higher, more than double its February valuation. For investors, this confirms the hyperscalers view Claude as a Tier 1 AI platform. Google Cloud, Goog, and Amazon, AMZN, are direct exposure to the infrastructure. Anthropic will scale on. The catalyst to watch: when Anthropic's restricted Mythos model moves into commercial deployment, enterprise contract velocity will accelerate sharply. OpenAI just reset the release cadence again. 6 weeks after GPT 5.4, the company launched GPT 5.5 on April 23rd across ChatGPT Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, and Codex. The model is purpose-built for agentic workflows. It moves across tools until a task is finished, no hand-holding required. That is production agentic AI, not a demo. Simultaneously, OpenAI and Microsoft amended their partnership to allow OpenAI to serve products on AWS and other clouds for the first time, a major distribution unlock that expands enterprise reach beyond Azure. For Microsoft shareholders, this cuts both ways. Broader distribution means more model revenue, but also more platform competition. The real test arrives May 1st with the M365 E7 Frontier Suite launch, the first large-scale bet that enterprises will pay premium for bundled agentic AI. China's AI just closed the gap, open source and in full view. DeepSeek dropped a preview of V4 on April 24th, exactly 1 year after its original breakthrough. V4 Pro packs 1.6 trillion parameters, with 49 billion activated, a 1 million token context window, and runs at just 27% of the inference compute of its predecessor. It is fully open source. Any developer anywhere can fine-tune and deploy it. MIT Technology Review is calling the release significant not just for its specs, but for its trajectory. China's frontier AI capabilities now rival the best US labs by any credible measure. 2 direct investor implications. The NVIDIA export controls debate sharpens again. Jensen Huang is already in a public dispute over GPU sales to China, and open-source competition compresses margins across the entire model API market. Watch for benchmark comparisons against GPT-5 that head-to-head will set the narrative for next quarter. Anthropic built a model so powerful most people will never see it, and the White House already has. Claude Mythos, preview announced April 7th, is strikingly capable at identifying software vulnerabilities, capable enough that Anthropic restricted it to vetted partners only and launched Project Glasswing, a dedicated cybersecurity initiative for critical infrastructure. CEO Dario Amodei briefed White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles directly on April 17th. In a separate incident, users reportedly found Mythos's endpoint and accessed it without authorization, underscoring just how sensitive the deployment is. Meanwhile, Claude Opus 4.7 launched for general availability, same price as 4.6, stronger on software engineering and real-world tasks. For investors, AI-native cybersecurity is a distinct and fast-growing vertical with elevated capital inflows. Watch which critical infrastructure sectors receive Project Glasswing access first. That rollout maps directly to enterprise revenue. Today's thread is concentration, legal, financial, and technical power converging in 1 week. A courtroom in Oakland could reset AI governance. A $40 billion check reshapes the funding landscape. And back-to-back model releases confirm the frontier is outpacing any quarterly earnings cycle. Stay ahead of what matters. Subscribe to the Daily Alpha and follow us at the Daily Alpha. This is the Daily Alpha.